10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to Idiot Blog 414. Today on the blog, we are featuring Dawning Day. You can find him at DAWNINGDAY. This show is on simulcast on youtube.com/idiotburns, bandlab.com/idiotblog, and facebook.com/Christopher Burns. And this show is about featuring artists from the BandLab app, bandlab.com, and talking shit about the world, about being a musician, about perfecting our music, about effects in the digital audio workstation world, and so much more. Dawning Day is gonna jam us away, and we're gonna fucking love it. I'm gonna pop some knuckles. I'm going to go ahead and pop on over to Facebook. Make sure I'm simulcasting on over there. There we go. Looks like we are live on the Facebook. YouTube, I'm going to check on over there. And BandLab, gonna check on over there. I am already sure that I'm playing on BandLab, but I'm gonna pop on over there just so that if there's anybody making any comments, I catch them. American Sleeper says, "What's up, man?" What is up with you, American Sleeper? What's up, man? Not much here. My new president is Joe Biden. I don't know what part of the world you're in, but everyone's been watching this election. My unduly elected president, Joe Biden, and vice president, the first female vice president, Kamala Harris. Or is she? I don't think she is, to be honest. I think there is a female vice president before that. Let's see. I'm going to look it up. I think I remember hearing something about I'm gonna go look up first. She may be. I might be wrong. Yeah, first female vice president of the United States. I had some feeling though that there was some president who got sick and his wife filled in on his duties. I know this is true. She was acting president at one point, not an elected president. So, but this is definitely the first elected female vice president. That's cool. That's cool for women, young women. I got 2 daughters. That's good for them. That's something to make them believe they can be elected. But Donald Trump, he makes you feel like you never want to be president. Unless you're some kind of perfect Nancy boy, or your parents are in politics, or you're rich as shit. Hell, even being rich as shit doesn't matter because they'll take you down if they don't like you, it looks like. They'll talk shit about you. They don't like people who aren't established politicians being president. That's what his presidency taught us all. Tell you that much. You can't be some guy who makes any kind of mistakes or has any kind of past, or it'll all be used against you. I thought we already knew that, so why did he ever run? But yes, now you have Barack Obama and Kamala Harris, who have taught you that people of color can be the president, vice president, and women can be president and vice president. No, I'm just kidding. Can be vice president. And at some point, we will get a woman president, I'm sure. It's surprisingly it hasn't already happened, but, you know, our choice was Hillary, and I think that's probably how we wound up with Trump anyways. Nobody liked her. Just like nobody liked Trump anymore. But it's a cool day to have the presidency change. You know, doesn't matter to me, really. At this point, we're just back to the same old, no matter what. Not that President Trump was definitely a difference, but I'll tell you this much. I was basically fired on the day he was elected. I was asked the day before the election, who do I think is going to win? I said, Trump's probably going to win. Way before Trump was the only guy left, I said, pretty much looks like Trump's going to be the Republican candidate. And they're like, no way. I was like, yeah, it looks like he's going to be running against either Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton. And everyone was like, no way. I'm like, yeah, and if he's running against Hillary Clinton, I'm voting for him. And my boss was like, no fucking way. And I'm like, yeah. And then he asked me who I was voting for, and then that came back on the day after he was elected, and I had no job. So, not saying that's why I have no job, but I'll tell you what, it did establish my desire to back him as a personal agenda. Always finding everything he possibly did good and disregarding all of his negativity, just to push it back into the face of the people that hated him so much they would do something that rude. Plus, I couldn't stand Hillary, and I loved that everybody who loved Hillary was so butthurt. I couldn't help but like him just out of a devil's advocate, instigator type personality that I have. But I'm excited to see Sloppy Joe in the office of presidency, because I think that he might do some things, some really weird things, like he might deschedule marijuana and make it so EMS fighters and things like that can smoke marijuana on their days off. Here's the thing, here's my problem with marijuana. You smoke methamphetamine on Friday when you're off work, and then you smoke it Saturday night, and then on Sunday you go jog 8 miles. And then next Thursday, you hit your head at work, and they don't even know that you were doing meth the last weekend. But you're all tired and out of your shit from it, from staying up all night. You're all tired and you're all out of whack all week long, and you hit your head, you do something stupid on Thursday. They can't even tell. You did it 2 days ago. You're doing it at work, and then you're doing it on Monday at work, and then Thursday you hit your head, and they can't even tell it was in your system. You do marijuana a month ago, and then you whack your arm, and they're like, you know, you put a dent in that that piece of equipment. We want to test you, and then you lose your job, even though you smoked marijuana like a month ago, and it was like in your week off on vacation. That's the thing. Marijuana does not tell you when you used it and how much is in your system. It doesn't reflect. There's no way to really tell when you use it. It's different than any other drug. If you blow in a breathalyzer and you blow 0.08 because last night you were drunk, and you come in and you're let's say like 1.0, you are still drunk, first off, and you're at work. Second off, you're drinking so much at night that you're coming in hungover maybe every night. We don't even know, right? And you're putting tons of people at risk. And then you smoke marijuana a week or 2 weeks ago at a concert in the evening, and the next day when you wake up, you are not high. You're barely hungover, and you lose your job because something happens. Marijuana is not a does not have a good traceability. And it's fucking all kinds of people up, and it's isolating all kinds of good people from good work. And it's a crux for society. It's a bad move. That's all. Now I'm going to go ahead and browse around, see if my broadcast is working on my page here. I'll look up Idiot Blog 414. Looks like it's working. That's not a definition of insanity, by the way. Just in case you were wondering. I don't know who said that, but it is a saying, I'll tell you that. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is called persistence. Uncontrollable impulsive behavior, severe nature of mental incapacity that leaves a person that to not be able to distinguish between fantasy and reality. Those are the definitions for insanity. What do they say? The difference between a madman and a genius is success. What do you say there when you say Hitler succeeds and dominates the entire world? Then he's held as a genius and a hero. But he fails, and all of his crimes are illuminated, and he's a madman. You fail, and they can call you whatever they want. They can dirty your name. But when you succeed, even if it's at cheating, it's pretty hard for them to go calling you a madman. You are successful. That's one I do think is actually quite true. I don't know if it's a technical truth, but I do believe in that truth of reality. What's up, Joey Yesta? So you guys, I made a pretty interesting little beat. And yeah, you caught me drumming? Yeah, I was having some fun with the drums. I was enjoying that. I could not quite get that animals as leaders thing going on, but I was having fun with it, and when I play to it, I do a little bit better. And when I can't hear what he's doing, it's hard to remember all the changes exactly right. I miss a crash or two, or a fill or two, and I get juxtapated. Now, when I'm making up whatever I want, it's a little bit easier to enjoy myself. Or when it's a more classical 4/4 song, or even something like Barracuda by Heart, and it's not 4/4, but it's, close to it, I can do a little bit better, something I've heard a million times. But the more mathematical a rock song is without drums, it could be very difficult. But I was having some fun with those tracks today. Just jamming out. I don't know if you guys could tell. While I was doing that, back behind me on my bed, the kids are jumping on the bed. Man, they're just having a blast when I do that. That's usually what my drumming makes the kids do. Come in and wrestle and jump on my bed. This is a cool little project. I'm gonna drop a like on it. Sleeping on the Train. I heard this one before. So if you're wondering, we are featuring Dawning Day. bandlab.com/DAWNING. Dawning Day. A little bit about the guy. Let me pop on over to this little page I got sitting here. An amateur guitar player. He's doing this hobby just for fun. Hey, thanks for listening. There you go. We don't get a bunch of details, but we get enough. That's what's going on here. What's my most used instrument? My drum kit. If you're asking what instrument I use the most, it's my drum kit or it's this bass right here. Because that bass, I've had that bass since 2001, a little bit, end of 2000, and I've been using it, yeah, maybe in the middle of 2000 I got that, around my birthday in 2000, which would make it around my 18th birthday. I got this one 20 years ago, and I have used it on 90% of the songs I make that have real instruments. The second most is that one in the corner there, because it's what I use for all the digital stuff. But really the most used instrument are my drums. I spend more time playing the drums than anything else, because the drums require two aspects of maintenance. The physical muscles have to be maintained. And guitar doesn't take physical muscles. I'm sure if I had a total degradation of my musculature, I wouldn't be able to play guitar. And if I had no calluses at all on my fingers, they would build up over like a week or so and then be there. I don't callus, and I don't blister. I only callus, and I don't callus rough skin. It's just a slightly thicker skin, and it takes a lot to get there. It takes, like, you know, extreme chords and, you know, like jazz and just heavy metal doesn't usually do it, because I play real soft when I play heavy metal because it's all distorted and gainy. I don't have to play as aggressive. A lot of live shows will do that, but I play the drums the most because there's two elements to the practice. First off, it's not the easiest thing in the world. So there's a lot of rudimentary practices. There's a lot of timing that has to be kept up. And then, like I said, it's physical. Your whole core has to flex. You do your legs. Your whole body works. You sweat your ass off when you do it. If I were to go play an entire show, let's say a 45-minute to an hour show with my band, and play guitar, if I just chilled back, instead of going crazy on the stage, if I just chilled back and just played, I would be sweaty just from the heat of the room and the lights from the stage, and that's about it. Just a little bit of perspiration. I might have to wipe my head twice. If I go play drums in that same exact band, it could be hard rock, soft rock, doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just the blues is the hardest, because you're like, instead of metal, could be, it could be like this. Now you go to blues and it's this. And that will fucking tire the shit out of you. You will be so tired from going. And the metal is just. Now, that being said, will tire you out. But all these things have a way of being very, very physical, right? While playing guitar, it's just the weight of the guitar that can be a physical burden. You know, it can be a little tiresome having that heavy guitar on you the whole time, or that heavy bass on your shoulder the whole time. But those muscles develop, and they kind of take a while to go away. If you stop riding your bike, you start getting out of shape. If you stop playing the drums, you start getting out of shape. It's that kind of an instrument. So I spend a lot more time on it. Not just because it's a good physical exercise, but because if you got to use it or you'll lose it. You quit moving, you rust. So a lot of times on my drums, the thing is, I have this electronic drum kit, and so I would say since the time I got that kit, if I were to evaluate every instrument it's getting the most time. And if I were to go back before I had that, I had a physical drum kit, and I were to evaluate every instrument, it gets the most time. And then lastly, let me say this. If I could only keep one of my instruments, I would keep the drums. Why is that? 2 reasons. Because drums, you can program, you can get pads, drums, anything that counts as... What instrument can you play? Will you play? If you could just play bass, guitar, or drums, I would pick drums. Because I could get these mallet boards that I put up by my drums, between my cymbals and my drums, that play notes or play synthesizers or play arpeggiators. And I can change the notes and control all kinds of music with those pads. So I can play to any genre, any music, and just have one instrument with the drums. With guitar, each guitar is specialized to a different style, and yeah, you can play every style with guitar, but I can't necessarily play every style of the guitar. I can play every style of drums, and I feel like drums, it just has more room for growth for me. Not that I can't keep growing in any of those, but I feel like it's not as metered. Would I be able to create all these songs without being able to play instruments? No, I wouldn't. But what would I do? I would find other ways. If I could just keep one instrument, I'd probably keep the drums. And it would allow me to play in all different kinds of bands. If I wanted to play in a jazz band, I'd play in a jazz band. If I wanted to play in a metal band, I'd play in a metal band. And I would go find those bands and those guys. And if I wanted to find, I could find any genre online and just play to it. And then lastly, if I could be the best at any instrument, then I would pick, let's say I could pick up an instrument, and I was, within 5 years of practicing, I was one of the top 100 best at that instrument. Then I would pick guitar, because the notoriety and ability that you get when you are the best at guitar is way higher than if you're the best at drums. Being the best at drums doesn't mean you're going to be in a band, but being one of the best on guitar, I would just sit down and make videos and put them on YouTube, and I'd probably have 1 million or more followers if I was one of the 100 best guitarists. And I'd have an income just sitting in my bedroom. That being said, if I was stuck on a deserted island, I'd have my drum kit as the only instrument. It's loud, I love it. A real drum kit. Boom, ka, Yeah, my mom prayed that I would have good eyes because she had shitty eyes. And I have pretty good eyes. I can see some tiny, 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 tiny little things. The smallest of smalls. Basically like Mr. Microscope eyes. I could see a piece of hair that was only a hair thick and a hair long, sitting on a black surface. I've done freehand soldering of some of the most microscopic electronics. Surface mount. That's a skill. Will my eyes degenerate, or are they degenerating? I don't know. But at almost 40, my eyes are as good as when I was 19. Bless you, Lord, Almighty and Savior in heaven. Thank you for giving me exactly what my mom prayed for. I use them all the time. You don't want to see my wife stumbling in the dark. She's running into shit. She's stepping on the dogs. We got a black dog. He'll lay right next to the bed. She'll just like pop right into him, and he'll pop up, and yeah, not fun. If we had a black cat, my wife would probably already be dead. Just tripping over her. Man, I feel like a beer. Hey, Julianne, would you do me a favor and bring me a beer? I would really love a beer. Glasses make you dizzy. Beers make me dizzy. You guys put your wallet on your butt, or do you guys put your wallet in your front pocket? I put my wallet in my front pocket. It's a random question, but I put my wallet right here. So if some guy were to try to rob me and it's all buttoned up, I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot my wallet. Hopefully it'd work. I asked my wife in person, or on message now. Let's see if she brings me a beer, you guys. So because you can't see and you'll die without your phone battery to see the way. You need a headlamp that you keep down there just so you can escape when you need to. Put it at the top of the stairs or whatever it is.
Running out of time. Running out of dreams.
The answer is no. Trying to get her to bed.
Life is just too short.
You're not gonna bring me a beer?
What?
I was asking if you'd bring me a beer like two times on the vlog. Hey, what is it? What is it, Luella? No tablet. No tablet. Want a hug?
Staring at the wall again.
I was a tablet.
Oh.
The hands keep moving.
I was a tablet.
You want a tablet?
So slowly,
Oh.
yet lifeline.
You have such a cute face when you're crying. Looks like a fish. It looks like a fish face. Ooh. You gonna climb up me and sit here? No, storm out.
Like embers that
My daughter's throwing a mega fit. You are gonna come here? Okay. Mega fit. Yeah.
dreams are never
Show them what it looks like when you're sad. Look, there you are.
the schemes of all these things.
Legs are cold. Were you outside?
Yeah, she's trying to go outside.
Were you outside trying to go outside? Your face is dirty. Your face is dirty. Is that from having too much candy today? No? Not for you.
You want me this?
You like the flute? No. You don't like that? You do like that? That's a flute. That's called a flute. Watch. You go like this. You go like this. I'll show you. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you go all the way like that. Blow. Good job. Okay, I'll do those parts. And you blow. Is that fun? You should learn how to play one. See? Turn it this way. Now do it right here. Starting to get the idea. See how covering the holes changes it? I'll try it. Okay, let go for a second. Moving this piece.
The saddest man I ever knew. Gave
Tightening
me the
it.
best advice I could share
Tightening
with
it,
you.
it doesn't move. Let me try and show you.
He turned to me with eyes of red. And the way that is, and this is what he
Ah!
Boom.
Why do we deal in absolute
Not a weapon though. From Grandma May.
when nobody out there knows the truth?
Too hard. Song.
The world could change in the blink of an eye.
Pretty fun, huh?
So don't waste your time wondering why.
Good. That's done. No more blowing hard.
Know that if you don't bend, you're gonna break.
Trying to see how long you can blow.
Can't keep it real, then you're a
Pretty
fake.
good. Nope. Okay. Stop. So you keep doing something you're not supposed to, and that's twisting and messing with this.
Yeah, if you don't bend, you're gonna break. You're gonna
3 on one and 3 on the other. Three and 3.
I know.
These 3 and these 3.
My fingers don't do
Don't use pinkies.
that. My fingers don't do that.
Change your wrist position. Yep, you'll do it. Nope.
This is why I don't play guitar, Chris. 'Cause my wrist
Practice makes perfect. You can do anything you want.
He couldn't take the pressure, so
Oh, thank you.
Here, let's see what I can do. I love that look. That's a good look for you.
he wouldn't feel it absolute. When nobody out there knows the truth. His whole world changed in the blink of an eye.
What? Nah.
And he didn't waste time wondering why. 'Cause he knew that if you don't bend, you're gonna break. Can't keep it
It's like a
real,
belly.
then you're a
That's
fake.
really on my face.
And if you never give, you're on the
You can see.
Glasses.
No, they don't. They're fine.
If you don't bend, you're gonna break.
They're straight.
You're gonna break. The pressure's building each day. The thing they always say is
Now Dad doesn't look cool.
okay not to be okay. But just because it's okay doesn't make the hurt go away.
Who's singing on this?
I know that we're all gonna have to face.
Vocals is Rabbit with a Machine Gun.
If you don't bend,
Heck yeah.
you're gonna break.
Oh, no, you will not break it.
Can't keep it real, then
If you break those, I've had those for a long time, you would be in big, big trouble. Big trouble. Big trouble, tons of bruises.
It says big trouble in America.
Because you got tons of bruises on your legs.
Is it backwards?
No?
I want to say yes. Say yes.
Say yes.
Say no.
No.
Are you ready?
you're gonna break. If you don't bend, you're gonna break. If you don't bend, you don't break.
This music is already a 2-year-old song.
Mommy, look. I'm thinking those singing more.
Yes.
Oh.
We're moving back through time with this blog pretty quickly.
Hey, let go of my shirt. What?
Follow this guy over and over and over and over, you guys. Go hit the follow button. I need to get looking cool again. Did it work? Nope, but I feel cool, so that's fine. Oh, I like this one. Nice little drum thing there. Nice little stop and return. Boom, boom, little boom. You talking to me, Puma Kid? You need my help? I grew up picked on. Let's say this. It started with teachers. No, you know, it didn't actually even start with teachers. It started with a complex situation where I was in a gang in 4th grade. And then I made this shirt where on the back of the shirt it had like the nicknames of everybody in the gang. And I got in trouble because the school pinpointed me as someone that would tell to not get in trouble on who were these names representing on my shirt. And I did, to avoid trouble. And then they promised that nobody else would get in trouble if I was honest about it. And then they hauled every single one of them in there and showed them my shirt. And kind of got a hold of all the parents, and then thought they would stop it by talking to us. And all that did was that drove all the activity of the gang onto me. And I got beat up by groups of kids, starting in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Half of 5th grade, or half of 4th grade, and all of 5th grade. I'd get out of school. I'd run to meet my brother at his class, hand him my backpack because my backpack's full of bags, and I could run home much quicker, and he would carry my backpack all the way home. He got sick and tired of doing that, and I'd have to carry my backpack, and I'd get beat up. But he would do that as much as needed, especially if there was something coming down, like the word was going out. Usually someone would tell me. Sometimes it'd be my brother. And, yeah, that happened a bunch of times. And, you know, I got beat up a bunch of times as a kid. Come junior high, I kind of isolated myself from everybody. Come high school, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old age, I started breaking out of my shell first year in high school and realized I'm an everybody guy. I can be friends with anybody and everybody. And it took a new group of friends to do that. Who you associate with controls everything. And if you can't associate with the kind of people you want to, it's better to disassociate. To be honest, it's going to do you a lot of good. So it's better to have no friends and a hobby than to have friends that are shitty or even too negative. I learned that, and I've kept to that style as much as possible, and it's kind of saved me in a lot of ways. Keep my head down at work until somebody just has to be my friend, and then be friends with them, but don't be hugely friends with them, and then I can keep myself safe and isolated in a certain way, and I mingle enough to enjoy life, so it's kind of my vibe on that. This is some cool stuff, really cool bluesy stuff. Kind of a classic rockish feel here. Well, you guys, I made a song today. It's called Virtual Reality. I'm gonna drop it when I'm done with the blog. But while I'm here on the blog, I'm gonna hop on over to YouTube. Every track I export, and double check and see what's going on. Dude, that happened to you, Jason? You know, I used to do 2 backups, right? And I had these 2 large speakers in my room, and I had about 825 or so songs on here, all the stems and all that stuff, and I probably had about 15 of them mixed down and then saved onto CDs, and the rest of them were just mixed down and still on the hard drive. About 6 of them were on MySpace, which I didn't get in time, and now they're gone, so I don't even have those 6. And maybe 20 to 25 total were saved outside of my hard drives, but 820 something songs were on these hard drives. And I had these speakers, and I had this weight on the speakers, and I kept thinking that weight feels like it's creeping closer and closer to falling off. And I was like, man, at least there's only one hard drive down below there, and the other hard drive's over here. And then I was getting ready to clean my room and move my computer from here to over there in my room. So as I was doing that, I took this hard drive and unplugged it, took this one, they're both unplugged properly, and I put them in a stack over here. And then I knocked that weight off, and it landed on both hard drives. Neither of those 2 ever started up again. Fucking 5-pound weight fell 3 feet and hit them so hard they broke both inside. Now, I have them, saved them, and they could be restored at some point by like a hard drive company. But at this point, most all the music I've ever made, I've memorized the formulas and I've recreated them here on BandLab. So maybe that's a part of how I remember some of these riffs, and I've kind of recreated them. So that's kind of a part of how I have a motivation to keep going, all those lost songs. But there's this really bizarre element to how I write and create that makes it so definitely those songs are lost. So that was shit. That was shitty. Now I do still do 2 hard drives. I have one underneath of something and the other one underneath of something else. I keep my hard drives in these silicone cases, and I plug them in, I use them, and then I put them underneath of something like a Mac G5 or I put them underneath of foam, and that'll never happen again. Now, I also put a bunch of my music on the cloud. So there's that. And then I also put a bunch of my music on the BandLab cloud. So there's always those mix downs, and I do more and more of this stem-based stuff. So then I figured, yeah, it's at least there, you know? People can at least listen to it still. And so that's a positive. But, you know, it's like breaking a guitar. It's sad, and it's a mournable loss, and it's not anything you can do about it if you drop a guitar. And then, that being said, you could pay someone an exuberant amount of money to $500 of work to fix a $200 guitar, $1,000 of recovery to get back a $100 hard drive. Buying a new hard drive is really the ultimate thing if you were to break them, because those ones never worked again. So I had to get all new hard drives too to back up anything I was going to do next. Maybe it's my punishment for downloading illegal MP3s. No, I don't care. It's probably not what it is. But you know, your thoughts go through your head when stuff like that happens. And you think, what could have I done differently? And at least you can grow from it. But yeah. So I made this beat. It's called Virtual Reality. And it's for the BandLab contest. And I'm going to go into it now. I'm not going to play it for you guys. I'm going to put it on my page. But I'm going to start exporting all the different parts. First part is 2 tracks of hi-hat. I'm going to export those first. I'm going to go through and each one I'm going to export them all because the contest requires that you have everything in. Let me go real quickly back to that. I'm going to go drag one of these out and I'm going to edit it. Okay, here we go. Hi-hat is close. Open. Edit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Song, kind of intro. All right. There we go. Get out of there. Share. So I use GarageBand. What I do is I export them and then I put them into a. I don't put them into my cloud. I put them into an on my phone file storage document holding app called Audio Share. And then when I go into Audio Share, I change the name of them after I export them, so it doesn't just call them like name of the song 1, name of the song 2, name of the song. I go name of the song hi-hats, name of the song clap, name of the song snare, name of the song stick, name of the song, whatever the sounds are, right? So I'm going to put that song. And then I'm going to also go click, 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 click. And see which one of those two I will end up leaving in on the stems for the people who are listening. It's nice to have a count in case you want to start right in the beginning of the song. So there we go. That's the hi-hats. Back. Rename. Oops. Cancel. Rename. Hi-hats. Back. Close the little window. Go back into the file. Highlight the next part. Unhighlight the other two. Exit out of the song. Share it again. Song. Uncompressed wave. There we go. Lead practice. Cool little piece here. Open in. Exporting song. That was cool. call that? Sticks. There you go. Live videos. Look back, double check, see if anybody's saying anything. Oh, well, if you have somebody reporting to kill themselves, the best thing you can do is tell somebody, like their parent or somebody else. Family is the key to preventing that, but I can't say I know how to stop that. If you think this person will listen, you can always tell them you love them. Usually that's enough. And I can't say, though, that I know the answer to that. I would say also it would be good if you want to give them, a hotline, a number, something to reach out, because you never know when they're going to reach out, when they're in that moment. I'll tell you what I did when I was 15 and a friend told me they were going to kill themselves. I said, try your hardest. I was a disrespectful kind of motherfucker. I was like, good luck on that. I don't believe you. I challenged him. I'm kind of a motherfucker like that. Well, I'm very compassionate and I cry at movies. I'm also like quite confrontational. So I always feel like people who say that aren't going to do it. Not that they wouldn't do it, but that they're saying that because they're already reaching out. It's usually the silent people that don't do it, or the people that have say it day after day, unexpectedly one day do. I know that it's a teen issue, but and that this suicides are much higher these days without the connections that we've been having, we're so used to, and the disconnected way society is. I would reach out to people and let them know that you've heard somebody saying that, and try and get advice from adults. I'm going to give you advice here. I'm going to say there's nothing wrong with telling somebody you love them. There's nothing wrong with handing them a piece of paper with a hotline. If you can't get a hold of me, get a hold of somebody you can tell them. Talk to somebody, because they might be able to help you. You don't have to feel alone when you feel alone. You don't have to be alone when you are alone. There are people out there who make it their mission to talk to you. You might not feel like they're really in your life and they really care, but give it a shot, and you'll never know until you give it a shot. I've had girlfriends that cut themselves, and I've had friends say they're suicidal, and I was one of those kinds of people that just said, you fucking really doing that? The fuck are you doing? I was kind of more like that when I was a kid. I was like, what the fuck is that for? You got such awesome arms and now you're cutting them? How stupid is that? So my sensitivity was that of a dickwad when I was a kid. I was emotionally attached to things of my own consideration, but other people's issues did not come through, and they still don't in a lot of the ways, like something I should care about. I say, buck up. Quit being a wimp. Don't talk about it, do it. So I wouldn't have had the best advice. But I also would have said, stop being a pussy and just smile, motherfucker. So I would say all kinds of shit to people like that. So what we're talking about is Puma Kid said, one of my friends, their mom is making them feel like shit. Another friend is planning to kill themselves, and I don't know why. How is their mom making them feel like shit? Telling them to do better? Telling them they're not doing their best? I mean, I don't know. I know there's some horrible people out there, and they happen to be moms and dads, but you can't You can't give a shit about anyone but yourself. And if you give it, here's the thing about my mom's making me feel like shit. So wait, you care about what your mom says more than you care about yourself? And if you don't, then who cares? You care about yourself. But I was lucky enough to have a mom that constantly reinforced and instilled self-confidence, so I didn't have to worry about that. My mom knew that was her job, and she took it seriously. So hard to say, man. Hard to say what to do in these situations. But I had a friend, Chris Lynn, who died at 17, and his solution was always to just unfetteredly and unfeared and unrelinquishedly would hug people. And it worked miracles. When he died, a bunch of people said their lives were saved by him, because he would openly hug anyone. He could see somebody needed a hug, and he would go up to them and give them a hug. Who gives a fuck about COVID? Because dying of your own fruition is going to be worse than getting a disease and surviving it. Give that guy a hug. Give that guy or girl a hug. All right, man. That's just my little 2 cents on that. Hugs are like a magic potion. I'm gonna check another round of what's going on the blog, the chats. Got a semi-hollow PRS. That's awesome. Oh, you cracked the neck? Damn! Damn! Can you get PRS neck from one that's... I don't know. That's probably not the solution. That sucks, though, dude. I've broken a neck before, and I went and got a $300 neck for my guitar over here, my Warlock. It's a Wenge neck with ebony fretboard, stainless steel frets. Thing fucking's invincible now. Alright, pop these closed. I'm going to keep exporting this. Actually, I'm going to do one other thing real quick. I'm going to go into the YouTube side of it. Let's see how long I've been going. Yeah, almost an hour. So we'll do one more song and then I'll go finish exporting my tracks. Hope everybody's had a good night tonight. Family came on the blog, both of them. Both my daughter and my wife came on the blog. That was cool. Well, dude, this one's called Another Mellow Jam. It's going to be our blog ender. Hope everybody did have a great night tonight. Hope everybody has a good night after the blog's over. Morning or afternoon, depending where you are in the world. Joe Biden's your new president. If you live in the United States, enjoy that, motherfuckers. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you for enjoying Dawning Day. BandLab.com/DAWNINGDAY with me today. We are music. Keep making music.